Hello. I'm Ayana Peterson, the Thrifting Diva, and we are back this evening to I threw that off. We're back this evening to do some cooking and meal prep in this case because I'm getting ready to go back to work tomorrow. And as you know, I like to make sure that I bring my own lunch because I am trying to make sure I have those high protein meals at work and don't have to worry about it. So the easiest thing for me has been if I cook dinner, I make enough that myself and my husband can have something for lunch the next day, ensuring that I am hitting those high protein goals that I'm going for. And now, why high protein? Well, I'm on a weight loss journey, and the high protein meals is what's really helping me to get to where I want to go very quickly. Yo, boy Coco, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. And so for me, it's just a matter of being able to prep my meals in advance so that I can have what I want during the week. So I'm going to be a little ambitious tonight. I'm going to try to cook two dinners in this live. And I think I should be able to do it in an hour because one of the meals is basically all I need to do is season and pop it in the oven. And so I'm going to try to cook chicken shawarma tonight, and I'm going to do some lamb, okay, some lamb chops. So we'll see. Now, obviously, the point of these meals is high protein, and so I'm going to try to hit at least 35 to 40 grams of protein in each of these meals because that's what's working for me. I'm working out in the mornings. I'm weightlifting, in the mornings, and so I want to be able to ensure that all that work I'm doing, that even if I'm losing weight, I'm not losing muscle mass as well. And that's where the high protein meals come in. So if you're a person who is, on a weight loss journey and you haven't figured out your nutrition yet, I am begging you, this is the time to think about that because weight loss really, really is going to depend on what you're eating, what calories you're bringing in, what proteins you're bringing in, and things of that nature. So even if you're working out a lot, the nutrition is that other part of the puzzle that makes it all click, and you'll find out if you're doing what you need to do. Okay? Friend, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for jumping in. And your boy is asking, do I go to church? I haven't found a home church yet. I should be, but I haven't found one yet. So today, even though it's Sunday, I didn't just come from church. But let's jump into this because, as I said, I'm going to try to be ambitious and try to see if I can knock out two dinners in this live and get us going for the week, okay? So chicken shawarma is going to be the first one up. The first thing I'm going to do is turn on the oven, and I'm going to put the oven and preheat the oven at 400 degrees. Ellie, thank you for joining. We are jumping into the meal prep for this week, and we're going to start with two meals that we're going to do. And the first is chicken shawarma. So I'm going to I haven't pulled out anything, so you're seeing it just the way you would probably do it in your home. I'm going to just pull out a bowl to start getting the chicken seasoned. This dish, I think, is super easy, to be honest with you, and very tasty. If you've been following me, you understand that for me, even if I'm on this weight loss journey, I need to be enjoying the things I eat, and I cannot eat the same thing over and over and over again. It's not in my DNA. I can't do it. I want to be able to eat food, and food should not be boring because we're on a weight loss. So if you joined me last night, I had a spread that was amazing. You should definitely check out that video if you haven't, but it was an amazing spread, and that was for entertaining, right? So because I am definitely a person that think that even when we're entertaining doesn't mean that all of our nutrition goals go out the window, but it also doesn't mean that we need to bore our friends and family who are coming by with a boring, cheese or just a regular cheese platter or a veggie tray because we are on our mission to lose weight, okay? So last night we had very high protein everything, We had a stuffed red peppers that had cottage cheese and feta drizzled with a honey sriracha. Excellent. Those things went down so easily. We had chicken wrap, basically the ones that you would normally get at PF Chang. If you know, you know. And we also had cheese, um, a cheese bruschetta on a wheat bread, like a whole grain bread. Just absolutely, just absolutely amazing. So that's what I'm talking about. Okay, Captain English, I am going to move you because I'm just not in the mood today. I'm like, okay, let people stay, but there we go. All right. Thank you so much for all those who are joining in. Good morning on the other world. Damien, thank you for jumping in. Today we are having chicken shawarma, and I'm going to make it with, let me check and make sure I have this in the pantry because I just jumped on right here and I was like, I figured I will figure out what I'm cooking while I'm cooking it. Okay, so we're going to do it with some quinoa, and I do have some quinoa here. And we're going to make it the easy way, like I've shown you guys how to do this. But let me get the chicken going because that's kind of the bigger thing that we're doing with this chicken shawarma. So I'm going to put it down here like that. Now, I got chicken thighs, and I'm going to make the whole dish because, as I said, here's all the chicken thigh. Let me get my knife, my trusty knife. And I want to just kind of clean up some of that, although it's pretty clean. But remember, I'm going to just take off, if you see that fat on there, I'm going to just take that off. So that we can really have a leaner meal. Normally people would use chicken breast, but I'm tired of chicken breast, okay? I'm tired of chicken breast. But the chicken is going to be our protein, and we're going to have quinoa with it. So we're going to double up a little bit on the protein by having the quinoa. And so I'm just cleaning the little excess fat on here. It's not too much, but I don't, we want to give ourselves a fighting chance on this weight loss. And for me, that is, especially if we're not using the chicken breast, we got to, give it a little extra cleanup. And so I got this chicken breast obviously from my supermarket. This meal, even though it's going to be a fantastic, look like a 5-star meal, is going to be super budget friendly, okay? Because the pack that I got here is going to be able to probably this is 2 meals, 2 meals, family of 4. My kids are not going to have this for lunch, but my husband and I can have this for lunch. And then the second meal that I want to cook in this live, while this is in the oven, at least prep or get it ready going, is some lamb. But I'm going to do it a little differently. It's going to be a rosemary lamb, but I'm going to put that on top of a avocado sweet potato. Yes, you heard that right. So we're trying different things. And that's the whole point of, cooking, is to be able to try different things, even if you're on a diet. And so when I first started, and I don't like saying diet, I just think this is a lifestyle, okay? When I first decided to get really serious about my weight loss, I looked online for different recipes, and everything kept coming back to like the same, like basic 3 or 4 things, and I was just like, this can't be. I can't, I'm not going to be able to survive having chicken breasts for 5 days of the week. Like, it's just, I just feel like there's so much more we can do with food. Different culture have different things that we can do, but it's just a matter of sometimes being a little invested in that process of learning it. And so that's why I started doing these cooking live, so that people who are, who haven't gone outside the box can say, okay, I could try that, I could try that. I can give it a go. and see what I can do. Okay. Um, and so this is what I'm just trying to clean up some of the fat. I'm not gonna get all per se, and I'm not dying if I if I don't get all. It's not that deep. Okay. It's not that deep. If you are saying any questions, I haven't looked at you yet, but I will look just now at the questions, see what's going on. And this is a boneless chicken breast. You can use other stuff with this, other meats, but I just wanted I'm sorry, not boneless chicken breast. This is chicken thighs. Okay? So I'm just going to clean this up. And then I am going to wash the chicken on the other side of you. So you're not going to see this, but I am washing the chicken on the other side. And then we're going to go in and do our marinade, which is very, very easy. It's not going to take you that long to do that. Okay, I'm going to use a different board because I'm going to cut up some onions and garlic to go with this. So I'm going to need a different board for that. Okay. Along with this chicken shawarma, we are going to do a garlic yogurt sauce to go with it. So while the chicken is going to be in the oven, I'm going to prep that, and then we're going to start on our second meal. Okay. So that's kind of the meal prep today, what we're going to be doing on here. All right, let's see. A chicken shawarma should contain, yes, I am killing it on the protein. Okay, perfect. And so 35 to 40 grams. And I'm going to have quinoa, Damien. But since you're adding quinoa, yes, would be 45. Okay, perfect. And that's what we're talking about. So let me explain why I'm so excited about it being such a high protein. And I was watching a couple of, interestingly, I was watching a couple of videos earlier today of people showing what they're eating and stuff on their weight loss, and it really hit home what I didn't know before until I knew this, that we should probably be doing a lot more protein than we are if we are trying to lose weight. Okay. And a couple of reasons. One, it really does help in calming down any food snack attacks and things like that you may be having. So if you are someone who always are snacking on something, you really should be thinking about, okay, am I getting enough food when I do eat? Am I getting the right stuff? Like when I eat, why am I hungry an hour later? Things like that. All right, so I'm gonna pull some seasonings here, and I'll bring those to the front. So we're going to do some garlic powder. We're going to do some onion powder. We need our smoked paprika. We're going to do cumin. And every time I look for cumin in my pantry, it seems like it goes somewhere else. But we need cumin. We need cumin for this one. And we're going to need turmeric. Okay, turmeric. Damien, can you let us know how vital turmeric and how important it is could be something that we're adding to our diet if we're putting in turmeric in there? So I have turmeric, I have smoked paprika, I have garlic powder, I have onion powder. I need some more stuff. I need salt and black pepper. I'm just gonna grab everything now because once this is in, it's in the oven and then you're done. Like that's how quick this is gonna come together. Do not need to be slaving over anything for years in the kitchen. And in this case, I'm going to be able to knock out 2 nights worth of dinner and lunch in this one thing. So tomorrow I may not have to be stressed about what time I get home, things like that. So we're going to get we need the ground cumin. And this is like my curry bucks. I'm going to get this Arabic 7 spices in there. So if you've never had that before, it's such an awesome thing. And I'm going to add some Aleppo spicy pepper. Okay, not too spicy, but it does come with a really good, it does spice this food up nicely. Okay, so that is what we're doing here. Pepper, one tiny pinch inside it to activate it. One tiny pinch inside the turmeric. Can you explain what were you talking about, Miss Eve? I'm very interested in that, what you just said. Okay, so here's your chicken, right? I cleaned it up. I washed it with a lime, but that's just kind of how we do our extraness in the Caribbean. So I'm looking to see if I have any tomato paste. Yes, we have some, but almost to the end of that. Okay, if you have tomato paste is something you're gonna want in there. All right, I'm just gonna put this down like this so you can see what's happening. Yes, put a tiny pinch in the turmeric bottle and shake that up. It activates it. What? I have never heard of that. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. Try it live. Let's see. A tiny pinch in there. Cover that back. Now don't mix this up for curry. Turmeric and curry are not the same thing. I'm just gonna shake that up. Okay. I love when you guys come on and give me some like real world tips and ideas. Okay, so we're gonna go in with some garlic. Be liberal, okay? It's none of this is extra calories. You're just doing this for the tasting of your food. Remember, we say that if you should be able to taste the food and it should have a taste to it versus eating just unseasoned, uncolored food. So, okay, if you need to add more stuff. Okay. This is some salt that I'm adding here. This is my Arabic 7 spices. I consider this more like, you know how you have Chinese spices? But, oh, it gives the best. I think it's just amazing. Okay, black pepper. I'm just gonna add a little bit of olive oil on it to get it all nice and in there. Now, if I had figured this out earlier today, what I was gonna cook, I would have done this morning and then let it rest. I did not, so we're going to go with what we have. I'm too impatient. I'm not going to really wait for it to marinate, but if that's your thing, you can surely do it. Okay, a little bit of that, and then I am going to squeeze the living hell out of the last bit of tomato paste that we have in here, because once again, I did not like prep too well. You know, you just kind of have something in your mind and you're like, okay, I have a lot of those ingredients. I have enough of those ingredients to go through. So I'm going to just, it's like getting that last toothpaste out, you know. Let me see if I have my, let's see if the scissors will go through it. Yep. I'm just trying to get it's the end. And so it's okay. It's not going back in the fridge or anything. It's going to go in the garbage. Okay. All right, let's see what this looks like when we mix it in. You can use your hands. I just don't feel like being bothered. But I find like using your hands does get the ability for it, all the things to be massaged. You know, do you see how when I turn the chicken here, it's like working with this, you know? It's okay. It also lets me know if I need more anyway, so. But when you use your hands, it's like putting on makeup with your hands. It's just the heat in your hands just allows the makeup to just blend in better. And so same thing when you're seasoning food. But I know some people do not like touching raw meat at all. And it's like, ugh. All right, I feel like I still need a little more seasoning on here. What do you guys think? Are we good? Are we good? No extra flavor, just properties and drink. I hit the like and I'm gone. God bless. Thank you. I'm ready to eat. Use gloves. I don't know. I've tried using gloves when I'm cooking and I don't know. I just don't feel like I can handle the food well. The good thing is I'm not cooking for anyone here. Well, my kids and the hubby, but I normally don't use gloves at home. Do you use gloves at your house, or are you just recommending that as something to do if I don't want to touch the chicken? All right, I'm gonna add a little more stuff in here. It does smell like we've activated something in here. That is for sure, and I love that. Where's my cumin? It does smell like we are ready, we are cooking. And so can you imagine once you put the heat on and you put this in the oven, what it's gonna smell like? Let's add some more black pepper. And as I said, this is so easy and done, right? Like if this was all you were cooking, you can do this in 15 minutes, put your quinoa on next, which we would do, and then you could chill. You can go hang out and be done for the day and have a meal that's ready. I forgot to put some of the pepper in here. Don't go too crazy on the pepper, the heat. But I'm just and a little more olive oil. Do you mind turning on the AC for me, please? Okay. And there we go. Make sure the chicken changes color. If it didn't, then you didn't do all the seasoning you should have done. Okay? That's my tip. Chicken got to change a color, but it smells divine. So chicken shawarma, and then I could already taste the garlic yogurt sauce that I'm gonna add with this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're done here. Just gonna put away my spices. We don't need those anymore. And then we are going to put this in a baking dish. Look how easy that was, like in and out. Do not have to be in the kitchen forever, okay? He said that should look good. It does. Okay. All right, so here we go. We are going to put this in a roasting pan. Let's see what I have. So we're going to use this guy tonight. One of my thrifted pieces. I thrift a lot of my kitchen things. You'll be surprised the things that you can get in the thrift store. And this is the best time to start doing it because the holiday season is coming around, and if you don't want to have to buy some expensive roasting dish because it's this time of the year, I promise you will not regret picking those things up at the thrift store. So something like this, I've had this for years because it's like the perfect size for when I'm making like a big meal and I want to be able to make one dish with it. But do not sleep on the thrift stores. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna get a tongue. I put a little bit of olive oil on here, okay? Just a tiny bit. I'm trying to watch the calories still. This smells so good. Like if I could eat this like this, you cannot. Don't eat raw chicken. Telling y'all now. But it just smells like it's ready. Like you've seasoned something so good that it smells like it's ready to be eaten like this. That's what this is giving. And so remember, this is a meal prep. So I'm getting everything ready for dinner in one shot and my lunch for tomorrow. Okay? And I just want to keep things clean and pretty So that's what you see me cleaning off there, because we eat with our eyes in this house. And for me, it's all about presentation. All right, we're not finished yet. I just have two things to do on this. And hear me out on here. I'm going to get a red onion. So I'm just going to put this on the side for now. I have a clean cutting board. This is not the board that I cut the chicken with, because I haven't, you want to make sure you're not mixing your raw chicken with any of your other food, because that is definitely a recipe for disaster. So what I'm going to do here is cut some red onions. And how we're going to cut these, we're just going to make them, and this is going to go on our pan with the chicken. It's going to be fantastic. It's that extra zing, that extra gourmet piece that, you normally get at the restaurant, but you don't expect it in the house. On this channel, I'm going to show you the extraness of Luxe at home without spending a lot of money. Okay. So I'm going to cut these. I want to make sure you're seeing. I'm going to cut them in half. I think I'm going to... You said what? No. Okay. I'm going to just cut this other piece here. I'm going to use the whole one. And I love red onions. And roasted red onions are a thing. Pickled red onions, even a better thing. So I'll just cut this maybe like that. Okay. And so that's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to bring the chicken back. And we're just going to put these here. You don't have to break them apart, okay? And that's why I'm just layering them in here, nice and pretty. But trust the process. Trust the process on this, okay? I promise you, you're going to like it at the end. Just layering these in there. And that's one of the reasons you want to make sure there's oil at the bottom of this pan. Okay. Okay. And there we go. Okay. One last thing before we put this in the oven. Put this back over here. I am going to make a garlic yogurt sauce with this. So I need garlic, but I want that roasted garlic. Have you ever done roasted garlic? So what I'm going to do is going to get a garlic. Let me see if I have garlic. I need a whole head. So let's see. Okay. I'm just going to use one. Okay. But you don't have to take off all the stuff on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it down. Okay. You see, I still have all the shell, on here. All you're going to do is like that. Okay. I'm going to take off a little bit of the paper, but you do not have to don't take off all. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on there like that. And then I'm going to get a piece of foil. We're doing multitasking in this meal. And you're going to put it like that. And you're going to put it there. And we're just going to put that here. Okay? Now this is going to be cooking for other reasons. This is going to be what I'm using for the garlic yogurt sauce. But we could do everything all together. So what I have is chicken shawarma. That's what we're making tonight. And we're gonna have that with some quinoa and in a garlic yogurt sauce. Okay, this is the protein, high protein. Damien has already done the work for us in the comments and is looking at least 35 to 40 grams of protein alone here. Adding the quinoa is going to add an additional maybe 10 grams of protein. Okay, and so we are high at 45 grams. Now, also, the amount of calories in this is going to be low, right? There's not much carbs in here, and you're going to have 170 calories per serving. So imagine eating this big filling meal and not a lot of calories. So that's kind of where you want to be when you are trying to lose weight. Food that fill you up without having a lot of unnecessary carbs. So I have the oven going at 400. Yep, and it just went off. I have the chicken. I have this in the foil is garlic that I'm going to use later. And then I have my red onions that's going to roast with the chicken. All right, so we are going to go back in here. And we're just going to pop this in the oven. Okay, and that's it. And so this is going to probably take about 40 minutes. But while we're doing that, we can finish up the rest of the meal and start another meal. Jake, do you see Cross? Chill out. Okay. Thanks for that. I think Jake comes on here every time and does this. So let me. Okay. All right. So that is all we have on the chicken shawarma portion. Okay. I'm just going to rinse this board off. Gonna get rid of this guy. And then remember we talked a little bit a few nights ago, I made quinoa and I told you the easiest way to do this is to make this in your rice cooker. So this is another part of the meal that you don't even have to worry about because we're gonna put this in a rice cooker, set it and forget it. But if I have bone broth, I'm gonna add that as the water instead to add some more protein. So Damien, let me know if adding how much more proteins would I be able to do that if I'm able to add the bone broth. But let me check to see if I even have any because I didn't plan too well on this one. So I'm hoping we have some bone broth in here, but we may not have anything. Oh, I think I might see something back in the pantry. Oh no, I don't have bone broth. I have vegetable stock. Okay. Is this one? Is this bone broth? Okay, actually I have chicken stock. So we're gonna use chicken stock. I have okay, so I'm gonna use chicken stock to cook the quinoa in it. And so let me know, Damien. I will give you the calories, 10 calories in a serving, and this is 2 grams of protein for the chicken stock if we're cooking it in that. All right? All right, so I'm gonna get my rice cooker out. And I think I told the community before, like, that's an easy way of doing these things. Like, make your life easier. No need to have the extraness of time being killed, slaving over food. And so for me, this has been easy, okay? So we have a very small one, but that's fine. And so I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this. About 50 grams in total. Whoa, that is a really high meal. Please show some respect for this channel or you will be time. Thank you so much, Damien. That is a really okay. Yes, that is a really high protein count for one meal. 50 grams of protein. I bet if I eat that, I will be full throughout the evening. I work out in the mornings, so I work out before I eat breakfast. That's going to probably funnel me into breakfast without any issues. So I'm really excited to hit that number. I don't often get 50 grams in a meal, so I'm excited. All right, quinoa. This one is the tricolor one. I think I got this from Vaughn's. And so you just cook it how your package says. So in here, it's 1 cup of quinoa for 2 cups of water. Instead of using water, I'm going to use chicken stock, okay? One, it also flavors it because whenever I've cooked quinoa with water, it feels like, it tastes like sand. Like, I don't know, it just does. So I'm going to flavor it, and I'm going to add a little extra flavoring in this one as well. I'm going to put some sazon in here. And if you know, you know. This thing, listen, you're going to always want to eat your quinoa with some extra in it because by itself, to me, I'm just like, ugh, I cannot. You'll have enough to take you throughout. Yes, that is, we're going for it. We're going for it. So the first thing I need to do, I do need to rinse the quinoa. So I'm just going to grab something. You want to rinse it like you would rinse rice. You need to rinse your rice. I'm just telling you. That is a thing. And I've seen a lot of people like not rinse rice. And I'm like, ooh, that's a little bit extra. But please rinse your rice. All you need to do is put it in the... So this is going to give me 1 cup alone. I wonder if I have any more. Because I don't know if that's going to get us for family of 4 eating. So I'm going to see if I have any more quinoa back here. Oh, I do. Okay. I want 2 cups of quinoa because remember, we are cooking for the fam and then we're cooking for lunch tomorrow. So we want to make sure that, you know, we have enough to carry us through. So I'm going to do 2 cups of, I'm going to do 2 cups. And so you're going to put that in here. This is how I'm doing it. I have in 1, and then my other quinoa, which I think is the same one. Might be a different company. It looks a little darker, but it's all good. It is all good. All right. Okay, so I just spilled the entire, I just spilled all my thing. Oh. All right. Good. This is the life of cooking at your house, right? Get my sazon back here. I'm gonna pour this in the strainer over the thing. So if I lose, okay. I'm just wasting food. And then put this back here. This is how it goes. The worst is if you fall on the, I mean, at least it fell on the counter. I can clean that up easily. But I've lost a lot of stuff where it just fall and break. All right, I'm rinsing the quinoa under the water. You just want to rinse it until the water runs clear. Easy way of thinking about it. So you just rinse it. And the package does tell you to rinse it too. So this is not a me thing. They won't tell you to do that if they didn't think you needed to, okay? Do the same thing like you would do for rice. I mean, that's how I treat it. It's like rice, but healthier for you, more protein, less carbs, okay? And when I'm on this journey, I'm just kind of, I'm not saying no carbs ever, but if I can substitute something that's tasty, I'm going to go for that. All right, let's see. I just made him a moderator. Your boy Coco, did you want to be one too? I'm new to your show. I like it very much. I've never heard of the meal you're making, so I'll hang around. Thanks much. Oh, thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that. Okay, so what we're doing, this is the quinoa. I'm gonna bring this closer to you so you can see what I'm doing here. You can't find your phone? All right, I'm just pouring this basically into my rice cooker. You can cook quinoa in the rice cooker, okay? So don't, you're just gonna put it in like that. And I gotta do some cleaning up after, but this is what we're doing. So for each cup, 1 cup of quinoa, you're gonna do 2 cups of water. We are going to do chicken stock because I wanna add flavor and I wanna add protein. So we're gonna do 4 cups of chicken stock in here, okay? So it's 1. And the reason I'm doing 4 is because I have 2 cups of quinoa. It's a family of 4, and I want to make sure I have food enough for lunch. Okay? And with 50 grams of protein tomorrow, I am probably not going to want to eat anything until I get back home around 5 o'clock, if I eat around 1 o'clock. Okay? So that's chicken stock instead of water. You can use water, but I tell you, I feel like that thing tastes like sand. Every time I've made it before, I'm like, ugh, I can't. Okay, here's my secret recipe. I'm gonna add a half of sazon to it. So it's gonna give it some color, which is fine because we're gonna have color in the shawarma chicken anyway. So we're gonna make that all about it, okay? So it's a little pack, as you can see, and I'm just gonna get that in there until about half of it is in there. There we go. Okay, and that's it. Oh, the last thing, I am gonna add a little bit of salt. Like I treat this like I'm cooking rice. Okay, just a little bit of salt. Not a lot because the sazon has some salt, not a lot, but you want to do it like that. And then I'm just gonna make sure that I get this kind of moved around a little bit. Okay, and the reason I like cooking it in the rice cooker is that a tap of oil, tap. Reason smells good. Reason I like cooking it in the rice cooker is because it gets that fluffiness that I just have never been able to do. Also, it's one less thing I have to worry about in the kitchen. So technically, if I was doing this meal alone and hit cook, I would be already finished. I could be on to cleaning up already because the mess I just made here. Because my chicken is in the oven and my quinoa is chilling in the rice cooker. So technically, I don't have much to do on this except for my garlic yogurt sauce. And look how quick that was. No time to it. No time at all. But we're going to be I'm going to make the garlic sauce. I thought I would have enough time to make the lamb with you guys, but I'm looking at my time and I don't think I would. So it might be one that I'm cooking by myself or tomorrow, but we'll see. I'll show you what I'm doing for that because at least I can start prepping it and then maybe tomorrow we finish cook it. And that one is one that I'm making with sweet potato, which is one of my absolute favorite thing to have. I think that if you're not incorporating sweet potato in your diet and you are trying to lose weight, then you're missing a great opportunity to get that natural sweetness without the guilt. Okay? So I'm gonna put this on the side here. All right. I'm new to your channel. Oh, read that already. Thank you. Okay. So what we're gonna do next, let's check on the chicken. And we've been in there for about 10 minutes. So probably nothing is happening, obviously, but you know, let's go ahead and still check. Look how the color of the turmeric is coming together though. Yes, yes. We are making headways and the house is already starting to smell like, ooh, what's in there? What is in there? Okay, So next thing I want to do is, let's see, let's get that lamb out because we could go ahead and start that even if we may not be able to finish it live here. Actually, before the lamb, I want to get the sweet potatoes out because the lamb is going to sit on the sweet potatoes very, very 5-star, very 5-star. So I'm going to peel it on this brown paper bag. Just so you have your yams. I should probably get a potato peeler. It will probably make this easier. But as I was saying, this is one of those complex carbs that I can eat every day in a different type of recipe though. Not the same, not the same. But this is one of those things that you should add to your list of, I'm going to the supermarket, I need to start incorporating sweet potatoes. It's so good for you. And on top of it, the carb count compared to like your russet potatoes and stuff is so low that you're definitely going to feel like, why didn't I do this before? And some of these things I'm just learning myself, you know? I didn't eat horribly before, but I wasn't intentional in how I ate. And so this is, you know, Damien, you're modding 7. You do so well with it though. Too easy. And your boy who's always on there with me, thank you so much. I do appreciate you guys' help, especially when the trolls are loud unnecessarily. Okay, so here's what I was thinking about for this dish. And Damien, let me know what my calorie and my protein count would be. We're gonna do some lamb on top of this, and I want to show you the lamb. So this is how we're going to do that. My husband's favorite meat is lamb, and I didn't buy a lot because it's just probably going to be he and I eating this one. Oh, you did do it already. Okay, I'll look up and see. Okay, this one is the grass-fed lamb. And it's lamb chops, lamb loin chops. And so we have it'll probably be 2 per person. And so I'm going to make that a rosemary lamb on the skillet in the cast iron pot. So quick, so easy. And then I'm going to put it on top of these sweet potatoes. But what I want to do is maybe cut these sweet potatoes, pop them in the oven to get them nice and roasted. Okay, so that's the sweet potatoes. Once again, if you are not incorporating sweet potatoes in these types of meals, you are missing such a big opportunity to be full, you know, to get full quickly. I'm actually gonna do another one. So I'm just cutting it so you can see what I'm doing. You're missing an opportunity because these things are, one, especially if you have a little sweet tooth. I love this. This thing is naturally sweet. Now, I am not making these like any of your Thanksgiving. There's not going to be any sugar. There's no maple syrup, but it will still taste as though you had everything. At Thanksgiving, I always wonder, like, why do we put so much sugar on something that's already naturally, sweet, I always wondered about that. I'm from the Caribbean, so Thanksgiving is not something we have in Trinidad, growing up. And when I came here, this was just like the rave, like everywhere you go. And even to this day, when I go, if I go to someone's house for Thanksgiving or there's any type of Thanksgiving potluck, they have the sweet potato pie. I always don't know the difference either. Sweet potato pie or anything with sweet potato, but it's always like syrupy sweet. And I'm like, I feel like I'm just eating syrup, Okay. This knife just goes through these things so quickly. I mean, I keep saying this, but it's because I'm in awe every single day of why didn't I have a knife like this from day one. I mean, I paid a little money for it, and I think I still got it at a good deal because it was in Japan and on sale. But it just makes things so much easier when you're cooking with this thing. All right, I'm just gonna rinse these off, and then we're gonna put them back here. And then I'm gonna get another pan. I already have the oven going at 400, so we don't have to preheat. So I'm just gonna pop those in there. I am from Trinidad, yes. Okay. All right. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slice them this way, so it could lay like a bed when I put the um, um, lamb chops down. Yeah, this this is the way I want them. Okay, let's get a pot, not a pot, but a roasting dish. Another one from the thrift store. I don't think I've ever bought anything for my kitchen, like when it comes to these things. And so we're just gonna lay these down like that. May not have room for all of them, but we'll see how much we can get in here. I was trying to get ones that look a little more uniformed, but it was very hard to find. Be careful cutting down. Make sure your hand is behind the blade always so that you can see what you're doing. Probably need a bigger dish for this. Um, think we're gonna go with this guy. Just so I could get all of it cooked in one. And I have some other reasons. When I cook these, what I might do is use some for the dish and then some for um, another dish throughout the week. There we go. So I'm just gonna finish this off like that. And then we have this one here. I cook my quinoa in coconut milk. I'm definitely looking to do that one. That is, I've never thought about that, but ooh, you said that now, and I'm just like, let's go. I'll have to figure out how much extra calories that is, but that is a really good idea. Coconut milk. So make it like a coconut jasmine rice kind of. I feel like I'm gonna cut my fingers off. So let me do this. I'm trying to figure out the best way to. I want to keep long slits, but I do not. I do not want to create a medical emergency. There we go. I don't think you could do this with a knife that's not as sharp as this. So this is how I really wanted them, but they definitely did not come out. They were shorter. All right. There we go. As I said, if I don't use all of them for this particular dish, it's fine. I can always cook something else with these because they are so delicious. And so I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil on here. Just try to get that move around. And so we're just adding this here. And I want to turn this. So let me see if I can get a clean tongue to just turn them. Because you want that olive oil and to be on both sides. As I said, the meal that I'm cooking with these lamb chops, you're going to be putting smashed avocado on it. Oh my gosh. The flavor of the avocado and then the sweetness of this is going to rock your world because it's so good. I don't want to add too much, you know. I'm trying to keep the calorie counts down, so we're just making sure they're coated, and then we're going to maybe put a little drip on these because they're so big. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of seasoning, not too much, but a little bit of seasoning. And so I want to add some garlic powder. I'm not going to add the onion powder. And I'm going to add some salt and pepper. Okay, so here's your garlic powder. Just seasoning it right in the pan. How you want to do this, up to you. And this is some thyme leaves, dried thyme leaves. So I'm just going to add that on here. And some of it is the look. Some of it is the taste. We're going to add some salt. That sweet and saltiness from the thing when it rolls. Oh my goodness, it's to die for. And then where's my black pepper? I'm going to just add the black pepper right on top of it. Be generous. Okay? Because think of this as the carb that's going to be with the lamb. Okay? And then when you finish and plating it, you're going to, ooh, too easy. Okay. So we are going to get this in the oven as well. And I want to show you what this chicken is doing right now, because I'm going to turn that chicken a little bit. So let me show you what is happening behind me. And the chicken color is coming. I mean, this is almost done. And it's going to cook a little faster because this was boneless, right? But can we look at this for a second? Can we give this its glory? Look at that. Look at that. So I'm going to baste it a little bit, right? Just taking some of that gravy that's already making in there, and then make sure that it gets all in there. The slight char of the sweet potato gives it that smoky flavor. Oh my gosh. So basically what I'm doing is, I wish you could see this. Let me bring you, because you can't smell it. But at least if you see it, you know what's going on. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at that. And so I'm just basting it. And this is almost done. So we're going to be getting ready to make the sauce. Look at that. Oh. Tell me this does not look heavenly. Make sure I get all the back there. And all you did was season and drop this in. Getting ready for 50 grams of protein in a meal that's going to taste delicious. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. Don't look at all those videos that have a dry chicken breast and a broccoli and talk about that's what we get when we're trying to lose weight. That's not living. That is not living. Okay, there's so much good food out there. That is not living. Okay, so here's what we need to do now is get ready for to make our sauce, the garlic sauce that we were talking about. And so what I want to do is I'm going to clean off this board, but you don't have to do much for that at all. You need yogurt, okay? The yogurt is going to be another, that's where we're getting that 50 grams of protein. The yogurt is going to give us that, um, here we go. I've used so much of this. I run out of this stuff every week. I need to start making my own. I know someone has said it's super easy to make, and I need to do it because I drop a lot of money on yogurt. I can smell it from here. My mouth is watering right now. I'm getting the munchies. Girl, it looks delicious, Maria. It's going to taste delicious. You see that seasoning? You saw that? So we're gonna add a beautiful garlic yogurt sauce to it. And what I'm gonna need is I'm gonna do some dill, garlic, I'm sorry, yogurt, and now the garlic. And so before I pull that garlic out from the oven, I'm going to get my mini food processor, because that's what I'm going to use to do it. It's so much quicker to do it than with your hand. It's going to give you that smoothness that we need. So I'm going to pull that to do it. Okay. If you haven't already, a mini food processor is so key. In my Amazon cart, I have these. So if you're ever looking to get one, this is where I got mine from Amazon. It's key. It's so quick to do everything you need, and just drop that there. All right, let's put the stuff in here. Let me grab from the oven, let me grab our garlic and hope that it is ready for action. And so the garlic is just that thing that was sitting in the foil. That's what we're going to be using. And so we'll see if what we are looking for came through. It was sitting in the juices, obviously, so that's what you're seeing there. All right. It is not as roasted as I like it, but I'm okay. I'm impatient, so we're gonna still go with what we have. Okay? But it started to get there, but it's not completely there. When it's there, you would know it will be super soft. Obviously, this is coming right off. Look. You can just squeeze it out, but it would be even more softer. But it still is going to do what we need it to do. And you just pop it out of the shell, okay? If I had more time, or if you have more time, you just keep it in there a little longer. But it does smell. The smell of roasted garlic is phenomenal. Like, if you're a person that don't eat garlic, I don't know what to say. Because just to me, this smell is just amazing. All right, I have to cut this because, as I said, normally it would be popping out, but because of my impatientness, and it's a very, obviously, you see I'm putting almost like a bulb in there, right? It's a very garlic thing here. And go with how much you would like. I love garlic. I think garlic and yogurt is just a match made in heaven. And so I'm going to go for it. But up to you and your taste buds and what you want to do in there. So there we go. I'm going to leave a little bit because I want to use this garlic for my lamb chops as well. So I'm going to just leave that little bit left over there for the lamb chops. Not wasting anything. Here's my dill. I'm just going to grab a few of these. Get it in there. And then we need the yogurt. Now remember, this is the sauce, okay? And so you want to go big or go home. So I'm going to get a spoon and whip that out. And that's all we are doing. This chicken will be done probably in about 5 minutes. So if this was all we were doing, look how far we went, okay? So we're going to put this in here. Oh, I forgot. I need some lemon. So I'm going to get a lemon. Okay. I'm going to put this here in case I need more, but I need a lemon. And you're going to have some salt. And Damien, you know what I forgot to add? That I'm going to also make a some black beans to accompany this. So what would my protein count be if I do the black beans? I completely forgot. I wanted something on the side of it. All right, so just squeezing in some lemon juice in here. I took out the seeds on the side. You didn't see that, but that's what I was doing. And so put this on the side, and that's what we have. We're going to put some salt and pepper, just a final little bit of seasoning in here. I might need to put a little more lemon, but we'll see. This is one that you pulse it a couple of times, taste it, and adjust the seasoning as you go. But do you see what it is? This is it. In there is some roasted garlic. The garlic didn't get to full roasted perfection. That's okay. Even if you never roasted it, you can go ahead and put regular garlic, if that's what you want to do. And so I'm going to bring you on this side so you can see the magic happening. And my quinoa is almost done. Chicken is almost done. And now we're just making this sauce. And so I just needed a plug. And this is why I like this, right? Because it's so easy to move around. You could do things like that. And then and you basically are holding this thing down to get it to activate it. Okay. So this is what it's looking like. I want mine to be a little less, what's the word? I want it to be a little, not as thick. I want it to be, why do I keep doing that? I am going, oh, okay, there we go. You know what happened. So I want it to be not as thick. You see how it's like not moving at all. So I'm gonna add a little more lemon, and I'm gonna put like maybe a touch of water in it just to kind of loosen it. I don't like it to be like, where I can't even move it. Okay, so I'm gonna add some lemon, and then I'm also gonna taste it. Okay. Had a couple of seeds that just dropped in there. We're just gonna grab those before we pulse it. There we go. And then I'm just gonna add a dash of water just to get it a little not as thick. Okay? Loose, yes. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And there we go. That's exactly what's happening here. It's lemon dill, correct. So it's lemon, and then I had some fresh dill that I just need to finish up. And there we go. Okay, let's see if you can see that well. And so this would be what's going on our thing. So let me taste it. And And the chicken is looks like it's ready to come out. So I'm just gonna check to make sure that it is cooked all the way through. It's boneless chicken thighs, so that's gonna cook faster, you know. Um, yes. Okay. Perfect. So this is gonna give it that fresh taste against the smokiness of the chicken. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're done here with this, and then you just pull this aside, put this out, and now you can use this for other things. It doesn't have to just be with the chicken, but now I could put it with basically anything that I want to add like a sauce to. But now I know it's high protein in here because of the yogurt. Okay, that's done. All right, let's go back here. Let's grab that chicken out of the oven because that's done, and let's kind of clean up a little bit. So that. Now, I wasn't able to do the lamb. So what I will do is the lamb will be tomorrow along with the rest of that, which is easy. So now only thing I have to do is cook the lamb. The sweet potato is in there. I'm done. And that will make cooking tomorrow so much faster and quicker. I still did some type of prep. I'm okay with that, okay? And you don't have to kill yourself trying to do it all in one night. You know, you do what you could do, and then now I have the rest of the evening to enjoy dinner and, you know, relax. All right, the chicken is absolutely done. Let me take that out, and I'll bring you over to see the magnificent finishing. And on top of it, I see the quinoa is finishing up itself as well. I just want to check the chicken, make sure, you know, you got to make sure, cut down the middle, make sure it's running clear liquids, and we are good to go. We are safe from undercooked food. All right, so here's what we have. Okay. And so this is chicken shawarma. Okay, hopefully you caught all the ingredients and what it goes into it, but it is super, super simple. Nothing very difficult and no seasoning that you're like, where am I going to find this? Basically, it's just cumin, garlic powder, salt and pepper. And then we want to have some turmeric, and that's where you're getting that brightness from. You want some tomato paste, a little bit of olive oil, and I had some Arabic 7 spices. You don't have to use that if you don't have it. And you mix that in really nicely. If you're able to do this in advance, like maybe the night before and then you cook it the next day, easier, because that is going to be able to get that marinade going. But I didn't have time. It is okay. Move on with that. And then we're going to have this with some garlic, a garlic yogurt sauce that has some dill and lemon juice with salt and pepper in there. That's going to go on top of that. But before I sign off, I want to add one more thing to this, and that is some black beans, because I want to add a little bit of beans, you know, with the quinoa. Sorry, quinoa is about 2 seconds from being finished, and so I'm just going to get a pan. Beans are so easy, okay? Like, don't make this complicated at all. All we're doing is pouring them into a pan, a little bit of seasoning, and then you're done. Like, I'm doing it from the can. Don't make this difficult. It is not difficult. You get 2 cans and you run with it, okay? So 2 cans of seasoning, black beans, which is I use the Goya. Shake, shake, shake. And you're gonna pour them directly into the pan. I don't take, when I do it like this, I'm not going to pour out the liquid, okay? And here's what you can do to give some more flavor. You remember that garlic that I saved a little bit for the the lamb, I'm gonna add some of that in here because let me tell you, garlic and black beans, you have not experienced it yet. But the black beans is gonna give me some additional. I think I'm gonna top out even higher. I don't know if Damien is still on, but I will top out at higher than 50 grams of protein with this meal, adding the black beans. Because in a can, a serving size is 130 calories, but you're gonna get 8 grams of protein in one serving. Okay, so just imagine it's the beans. You're gonna get the chicken has the like spill something. Chicken has the protein, and your quinoa has the protein, and that's how we are building such a high protein meal that's gonna fill us up, hold us over for hours without us having to worry about anything. So all I did, um, thank you, girl, dad. All I did is I poured out this. I'm gonna still try to save some. So I'm gonna take a couple of pieces off from here because I want to keep a couple for my lamb tomorrow. So that's all I did. I just put in 2 pieces in there. I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic powder. I'm gonna put a little bit of onion powder as well. And I do have some fresh thyme that I'm gonna put in there. Let me see if I think I have fresh thyme. Basil, yep, I have some fresh thyme that we wanna just drop in there. This is very simple. Don't overcomplicate this at all. It's very, very simple. And so you're just gonna get this in here. I'm not gonna put any additional salt in it because I used the liquid that they have already, so you don't really need to add more, but if your taste bud needs it, go for it. I am gonna put pepper, black pepper. And so I think I'm definitely over 50 grams of protein with this meal alone. So if you've been following and you like what you're seeing, I really would appreciate if you drop the like button uh, on here. Just lets me know if this is something that you want to see more content. It lets YouTube know to share it to other people. So would really appreciate if you did that. Oh, I forgot I need oregano. I just always like how oregano tastes with black beans, but I don't see my oregano. I see thyme here. Oh, here it is. I always like how this has like this taste to it, so I always put a little bit if I have. Okay, and that's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay, and once this simmers a little bit, remember this is already cooked. I got this from the can, so you don't really need much. You're just kind of heating this up and having the the um the various spices kind of work their magic inside of this. Okay, all right, and that is how easy this is. I want to plate it for you so you can enjoy that experience because we eat with our eyes, and so after all this work you want to see like, all right, how did this come out? Did it look like something I wanted to make? And so let me clean up a little bit and get these things out of the way, and so we can have a beautiful plated dinner ready. And I'm just gonna pack my lunch immediately as well, because that's how I do. And so a lot of people, even at work, are like, man, your lunch looks like, some 5-course meal, rather than, a lot of people are coming in with like a sandwich or something like that. No, baby, we're doing it big. I know, like, and you're working out and you're trying to lose weight, but you're coming in with a meal that looks like, yes, That's how we do. Because that's what's going to keep me doing this, okay? That's what's going to keep me doing this. I can't tell you how amazing that sweet potato in the oven is smelling right now. I'm hot, so I'm just going to. Whew. This is my replacement for everything. This is all I drink between this and just regular still water. And then I have my alcohol, my one alcohol on Friday or Saturday. But these things, you don't want to think about soda after having those. So, all right, let's get this plated and get going. Remember we had, remember we had our, um, I keep forgetting the name of this, quinoa back here. Can you send me this recipe? I missed the beginning. Bertha, yes, I can. At the end of the video, I normally go back in and put up the description, put all the information on what I used and things like that, so that you can just go in and read the description, and it'll have the recipe and the how to do it. Okay, but yes. All right, let's get this out of here. And so we're going to take out some of our quinoa. Remember the other reason I like using the rice cooker is because the quinoa comes out so fluffy. And I've never been able to do that on the pot, including when I cook rice. It's just one of those things I've just never been able to do. So I just love that. Look how beautiful, look how nice and fluffy this is. Do you need a fork to fluff that? No, that thing is jumping on already. It's like, come give it to me. All right, we're gonna get some chicken. Where is my tongue? Might as well take out my food for my husband right now. I think he's watching basketball or something upstairs, so he's gonna get to taste this first. Remember what we say, we eat with our eyes, so I want to make sure things look beautiful. Like when I present my food, I hate when people present food to me and it's like, like almost like an afterthought. So I'm always very conscious about that. I'm gonna put a scoop of this garlic sauce on the side. And then we're gonna get some black beans in here. I'm actually gonna use my, yep. And this is gonna be a meal that he's gonna eat tonight and probably also not be hungry anytime in the early morning. So here we go. I want to turn this. This one I'm drinking is really the Solil. It's the like knockoff brand name one from my local supermarket. But this one is black cherry. It's so good. But of course, no calories, nothing in it. It's just carbonated water. Okay, so here we go. And so this is chicken shawarma. It has with garlic yolk rice on a bed of quinoa with a side of black beans. Okay? And probably over 50 grams of protein. Okay? And so that is going to fill everyone up, men and women alike. It's going to taste amazing. It's going to be healthy. It's going to be low calorie. And so what's the problem? What's the problem? Let me know. Give me a like if this is something that you're like, yes, I could see myself having this for dinner. Somebody brings this over, I'm good. I'm definitely good. Um, and it's very flavorful. I just put a little bit of I put a little bit of the dressing, not the dressing, the gravy from the sauce from the chicken on the chicken, and that's what we have here. Okay? Over 50 grams of protein in a meal that looks like this. Very little calories on this one. This is going to be a very low calorie count meal, okay? But yet 50 grams. So that's a win always. So if this is something you like, please give the thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, on the channel we talk about a luxe lifestyle on a budget to include our health and our meals, our fashion, our home, all these things that go with how we see ourselves in the world. And so I hope that you would follow me, and if you subscribe, you would know when I go live, which is when I do my cooking is honestly every during the weekdays, Monday to Thursday, and that's at 6:30. And so tomorrow we're going to finish off the lamb. And just want to show you what's going on with our. Right now we are finishing up the sweet potatoes, and those are not completely there yet, but we'll finish this up tonight, and then tomorrow I'll finish this up with a lamb um, that we'll make with some avocado. So definitely jump back on here tomorrow to see how that comes out. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, if it's the morning, an evening, if it's the evening, an afternoon, wherever in the world you are. And make sure that you're thinking about that protein count if you're someone just considering or thinking about dropping weight. This is definitely what you need to do. All right, thanks so much. Blue Dust, I appreciate the subscribe, and see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.